your say.
Across the West Midlands, call
03453
009956.
BBC WM 95.6.
And in the studio is the one and only Hannah Molloy, who is I didn't know you were a dog whisperer, Hannah.
That's one of my many names.
What do you do then?
Well, I'm a dog whisperer. I'm a canine behavioural therapist. I'm a relationship counsellor. Sometimes a support worker.
What for dogs? You're a relationship counsellor.
Well, yeah, I think you're looking at the relationship between man and beast, and you need to really take that whole dynamic into account. It's never just the dog, is it? It's often the way the person is responding to the dog. And I often say to my clients that the hardest thing about my job is that people have lots of different ideas of what dog life is, and dogs have got very different ideas of what human life is. And often the issue comes when those two things don't work together.
And you can't change a dog's behaviour by talking to it, whereas you could sit down with me and say, listen, Dan, the dog doesn't like it when you stand on its leg.
Exactly, yeah.
Now you can tell me what not to do, but with a dog, how do you approach that?
Well, with the dog, it's teaching them about what works. So, the hardest thing for most dogs is that we end up spending our entire lives looking at them all day. We watch them. They walk around the house and we watch them. They pick up a toy and we watch them. And so they think, I'm really important because you're just constantly looking at me. So then when you stop looking at them, they go, what have I done? And so it's teaching people how to actually live with the dog and let the dog follow them and not make that dog the most important thing in the whole wide world.
What about when the most important thing in the whole wide world, the dog, when another dog joins it? Do they get jealous?
Yeah, of course they do. Of course they do. It's another resource. You're their resource. It's just like having kids, really. You have a second kid and the first kid goes, what? You're not around for me all the time. There's another thing that's taking your attention. That's not okay. And it's interesting with the cat and dog dynamic. It's a very similar
how does
sort
that work?
of situation.
I can't remember the name of the breed. It's got big, long legs, disproportionately big. It's got massive paws, big floppy ears, and it's like chocolate brown, and it's yampy.
Okay.
Is it a Valderrama?
Weimaranas aren't often brown.
Oh, I wonder what it is.
It could be a gun dog type, though. It could be some sort of pointer or maybe a labradoodle or something like that. There's quite a few of those.
Yeah, no. Okay. Yeah, anyway. Yeah. So it's now living in a house where there was a cat.
Yeah.
And the cat's done one.
I know, they do, bless them. I know. We don't think about it, actually. The cat was there first, and obviously that's its territory, and cats are very territorial, whereas dogs are a species that are sort of very community-based. They like family, and cats are very independent. So it's managing the dynamic and actually teaching the cat that the cat's still got its space, and that the dog isn't just going to run right. People get a puppy and they let it in the house and they just go, do what you're going to do, and the puppy goes, right, I'm going to chase the cat because that's fun, it's fluffy, it's moving around a lot. So it's giving the cat an opportunity.
I love the way you have with words. You're great.
I mean, the thing with cats and dogs, you've got to bear in mind the rules are the same for cats and dogs, but we've decided that cats and dogs have different rules. It's us that's created the problem here. Like, cats and dogs both work on the same premise, that if you're physically higher, you're more in charge. So cats will get up high and look down on dogs and go, and the dogs will go, what, you're right up there, oh, that's not fair, and next time you get down here I'm going to have a word, and the cat will go, well, I can look down on you from up here and I can get to the human whenever I want. You sit, dog, you lie down, and
you think it's that deliberate, do you?
Yeah, well, no, absolutely. We, the ones that ranked cats above dogs, at what point we said, oh, no, cats can have a flap, that's fine, you can come and go whenever you, tell you what, I'd leave your food down for you whenever you wanted to stop. Whereas dogs, specific meal times, you can't go out without me.
Did you slip into a French accent then? I think you did.
That's my cat voice.
Oh, is it a French feline? Should we get some calls on the radio? Here's the number, 03453 009956. Pat and John, stay there. Don't forget you can email me a question. It's always best if you pick up the phone, though, because invariably Hannah may need to ask you something about your point. You can email me, though, danny.kelly@bbc.co.uk, danny.kelly@bbc.co.uk, and if anyone can guess the breed of my best mate's dog, and it's got big flappy ears. It's definitely, maybe it's grey rather than brown.
Yeah, if it's grey, it's a Weimaraner.
And it's a Weimaraner. What do you call it?
Weimaraner.
And what sort of mutt is a Weimaraner?
It's a German hunting dog.
Oh, it's a hunting dog?
Yeah, well, they would have been a gun breed, so they would have, gone to chase birds and such.
Yeah, and it's yampy. It's
Is
off
it
its head,
Yampy?
very manic, yeah.
Yeah, they're quite intelligent. I think often when you get a dog who's just experiencing loads of behavioural problems, it's because they're a little bit too clever, and they're going, "What are we doing today? You're just sitting down and looking at the box. Why are you doing that? Just look, there's toys everywhere."
What accent's that? The French was the cat. Was that German?
I don't know.
This is great. This is great. 03453 009956. Here's a question. Dan, I've just got a puppy. Keep it in a cage for the first 6 months. What's that about?
I wouldn't call it a cage. As soon as you call it a cage, you treat it like a cage. It's a crate, is what he's referring to. Yeah, crate. There's nothing wrong with crate training. It's quite it's more new age, I'd say now. So it's basically another dog bed. So the key with crate training is that if you want your dog to live and be comfortable living in a crate, then you feed it in the crate. You leave the door open. That's a really big one. You leave the door open until you can see that the dog is comfortably going to it, sleeping in it, enjoying it, and then you really only close the door of that crate when the dog is eating or when the dog is sleeping and relaxed. And then over time and tide, the dog says, "That's my favourite place to be." So if I'm ever experiencing stress or we're going off on holiday or you've got to take me in the car, then maybe I'll sit in my comfy bed. It's like a den, really, for the dog. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Let's go to John's in Daventry. Morning, John.
Morning, Danny.
Yeah, thank you for your phone call. Welcome to the show. Good morning. Can cats and dogs cohabit successfully?
Yes, they can.
yeah, they can. Go on, John.
I've got two Sprockers,
Wonderful.
which are cross between Springers and Cocker Spaniels. And I've got two cats. We've got the old cat. She's been with us for 9 years.
Aww.
And then we got the grandson's cat who came for a holiday about 18 months ago. And the young cat, he rules the roost.
Yeah, that's the way it's got to be.
He actually chases the dogs around. He will actually hang on to them by their ears or underneath them.
Wow.
And we've got laminate floor throughout the house. And people think it's out of the house when they see the cat hanging on the dogs running around the house. And he absolutely rules the roost.
John, just remind me, what came first, the dog or the cat?
Well, one cat was there when we got the two pups, because we had dogs before. And the actual kitten, as we call him, he came there about a year ago.
John, I'm intrigued. Where are you? What are you doing?
I'm actually a lorry driver. I'm doing the back doors of a container at the moment.
And what's in the back of the lorry that you may be taking over with you tonight?
Oh, there's no immigrants in here. It's just coming from Spain.
Yeah.
It's all fabric conditioner.
What make?
One of the big. Begins with T.
You just got pallets of fabric conditioner, have you?
Tricky, Danny. You're on BBC. Watch yourself.
I'll tell you what, John. I bet you've got the cleanest clothes, in the Midlands if you're delivering that.
No, because it's all sealed.
Is it? You can't have a few away. John, thanks very much indeed. Good lad. Thank you. 11:15. No immigrants. 11:15. 03453 009956. Pat's in Wolverhampton. Good morning, Pat.
Morning, Danny.
Morning, Pat.
Hi, and thanks
Morning,
for
Hannah.
you've been waiting a while. Good morning, Pat. What would you like to say to Hannah?
Well, it's my Russell in disguise. He's got a terrible cough, like we might have a wheezy cough, and it's as if he's trying to cough stuff up out of his road, and his ears are waxy. He does have a flat 5 ml of Manuka honey at night to help.
Yummy.
And, I'm wondering what else I could give him to try and get rid of this.
Tricky. I mean, I have to say, that's definitely a question more so for a veterinarian. I can't...
well, they gave us powder,
yeah,
but it didn't make any difference. He's got a bit of waxy ears as well with it. It's proper, like your own cough kind of thing,
Yeah, it's an interesting one. As I say, it's a very difficult one for me, Pat, because I can't comment when it comes to the medical side. It's a
You said, "Oh, lovely," when she said that. She feeds it.
Manuka honey.
What's Manuka honey?
Oh, it's great stuff. It's honey that's made in New Zealand, and it's got a really good active property in it that's good for the immune system. Basically, it boosts the immune system. Anyone eating Manuka honey is gonna do better. Yeah, definitely.
And what breed of dog is it, Pat?
He's a Russell in disguise.
What does that mean?
He's a Jack Russell. I don't know why he's in disguise. Is it because it's Halloween?
He's got long fur.
Oh, long-haired Jack Russell.
How old is he?
He's about 14 now. Can you hear him?
Go on, let's hear him.
Oh,
he's wheezing.
Oh, Yeah, he's having a bit of a time.
Oh,
Did you get that?
yeah, he's wheezing, isn't he?
He's wheezing. I'm asthmatic, and he sounds like me.
Oh,
And I feel like, can I use my inhaler for him?
Oh,
If he has a drink, it all started. He has a drink of water. And we stopped because the tap water is like bleach. We started buying him the bottled water.
Lovely, yeah.
But now,
Is he drinking lots of it, Pat? Is he just having a
won't
little sip?
drink it very often because of it sets him coughing.
I know you're not a vet,
Some
Hannah,
sort of
but what would you say?
Situation
How long's
there.
he had it?
Since the summer.
Since producer Liz, every now and again, just stay there, ladies. We have the who's the vet? He's a nice guy, James someone.
I want to say Harriet, but it's not Harris.
It's James Harris, isn't it? Could you get James on the phone?
Yeah, we'll give him a call now.
And see what the diagnosis could be.
There's a good Pat.
Yeah, no worries, yeah.
Pat, you going to stay there?
Okay.
All right, let's go to another Pat. This is Patrick, though. Hi, Patrick.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good morning. Do you know what's
morning,
wrong with
Pat.
that 14-year-old dog? I wonder what that could be, Hannah. We'll find out shortly. Anyway, what do you want to say, Patrick?
Going back to pets living together. Some years ago, we had a Staffordshire Bull Terrier, a cat, and a cockatiel.
Oh, fab.
None of them was caged. Do you remember the advert, Come Home to a Real Fire? You had the dog, the cat, and the mouse.
Yes, yeah.
That was our house, but instead of the mouse, we had the cockatiel.
Oh.
And it used to be ever so odd seeing her sitting on the nose of the cat, the cockatiel, grooming her eyes, and the cat purring away.
Yeah.
But going back to what you were saying about the cat getting height as well, after the Staffie, we had a great day, and she was born blind and deaf in one ear.
Oh, my goodness, yeah.
And the cat used to get up on the worktop or the table and jump on the back of the dog.
Oh.
And the dog would just walk round with her.
Oh.
So,
yeah, it can be so easily done, can't it, if they're introduced in the right way? What sorts of things, if you could give people some tips about how you ingratiated those three species together, what did you do?
Basically, just threw them all into the room.
Work it out.
No, in seriousness. I mean, we had the dog first, then the cockatiel, and I think when the cat seen how the dog and the cockatiel got on, she sort of accepted it. The cat was a kitten, obviously, and wanted to chase the cockatiel. It weren't until later life with the cat that she stopped chasing the cockatiel.
Yeah. I think the other thing is, Patrick, and you should be really proud of this, is that you as an owner didn't panic. I think that's often what people do, is they panic. And if there's stress caused by the owner and the two animals are going, what, everyone's stressing out, what's going on? Then, it can cause lots of other problems. But
if the cat or the dog upset the cockatiel, it used to dive bomb them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Ace, yeah.
Patrick, that's a great call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. On the email, danny.kelly@bbc.co.uk, and this is from Joe in Wolverhampton. Dan, we have a 5-year-old house rabbit who has a certain set living area, although she does come out for regular runs around the house. She is quite timid. Is having a puppy totally out of the question? If not, what breed of dog would you recommend? Not a greyhound, I presume.
Any dog can live comfortably with another species, because let's just think for a second. You are another species, aren't you?
Me?
So, yes, that's correct. You're not a dog, are you, Danny?
No.
So, that's the thing to bear in mind, is that any dog can live with any other species. It is about the way they're introduced. The thing with dogs is that obviously puppies are going to see something moving and go, oh, what's that? And the way that they experience the world is by using their mouth. They don't have hands, so the puppy's going to want to pick things up with its mouth. It's going to want to sniff them. It's going to want to poke them, and see what that animal does. And if you've got an animal who is incredibly timid, and then the dog will go, oh, that's interesting, you're backing off, I'm coming towards you and you're backing off. So it's stepping in between and giving the puppy some boundaries about what to do when they're around that animal. So if I had a really timid rabbit or cat or anything really, mouse, rat, whatever you want, then I'm going to give the timid animal, and this is the same actually with dog on dog. If you've got a really timid dog, that dog gets maximum choice. That dog gets space. That dog gets opportunities to run away. And the dog who's a little bit more confident or learning, that dog's given a little bit more control. So I might introduce them on a lead, and I'm going to teach my puppy when it's around that rabbit or whatever it is, the best thing you can do here is sit and lie down, and I'm going to keep giving you lovely things to take your mind off the fact that there's that intriguing thing over there. And then if at any point I think the dog is starting to intimidate either another dog or a cat or whatever, then I'll step in and say whoopsie, and I'll back the dog out of the room and ask it to sit and wait again until it can come in, and I'll just give it some boundaries. And it's repetition more than anything.
Is there a dog that you can't work with?
No.
You've never met a dog?
No, I've never met a dog I can't work with. I've met a dog. Have met a dog that has honestly scared the life out of me, Danny.
What was that?
It was a dog that had been unknowingly by the owner. His son had been taking it out and training it to fight. And actually, this owner said to me, you know, I have to do a bit of Sherlock Holmes when someone gives me information verbally and I can't see the dog. And he said, you know, this dog, it goes for feet. He'll go for your feet. He'll go, and I'm okay, interesting. And when he goes out, he collects sticks, but not just one, like loads of sticks. And then my son's put a tyre in the back garden on a chain. And I said, that dog's mad, he is. And then he ran into the back garden and latched onto this tyre and shook it. And I met this dog, and in a moment I do a bit of a frustration tolerance exercise, so I'll offer a piece of food and ask the dog to sit, and I'll just wait a couple of seconds longer than that dog might want me to, just to see if it's going to wait a bit longer, if it's going to jump up, is it going to back off, what's it going to do? And this dog zoned out and then went and in a situation like that, it's not the dog that frightens me, it's the length of the process that would need to counter condition that behavioural response. And the thing to bear in mind, guys, anyone out there who really is encouraging their dog to be a bit pushy and really forwards and on it, is that you're traumatising your animal. You know, that is trauma that dog doesn't understand, and it's going through coping strategies like chewing or collecting things to manage how it's feeling inside. And it broke my heart a little bit, because I saw that and went, do you know what? I don't want to lose a foot to that dog. I don't think anybody would.
What was the outcome then? What happened to that?
We gave a little bit of advice, as always with my clients. You know, it needs to be them that comes to me after I've done the initial. And sadly, in that case, you know, I didn't get a call back from that gentleman. But yeah, just be aware, if your kids are taking your puppy out, just every now and then, just go for a little wander and see what they're up to.
Yeah, let's go to Malcolm in Acox Green and Ken in Bark Green. Stay there. Malcolm, good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Welcome to the show. What would you like to put to Hannah?
First of all, I have a Doberman. He's a thick-set Doberman, and he's a well-behaved dog.
Yeah.
And when I'm dog walking within the law, my dog now has been attacked.
Yes.
In this said park in Acox Green 6 times within 3 years, and all perpetrated by Staffordshire Bull Terriers. I'm sure that these dogs seem to have a bad name, but I just want to know why these dogs have got this psyche that they must attack any dog that they seem to be fit. And these are not hoodies with dog, you know, the staffs. These are normal people in their 30s and 40s.
Yeah, of course.
And my dog, just a few more seconds, my dog, the attacks have happened 300 to 400 yards away. This is not a chance meeting.
Yeah.
This is an actual, the dog wants to attack, maim or kill.
Can I just say
and there's
something?
2 dogs in our park within, I would say, 8 months, small dogs. They've been attacked, and each every one, the killer has been a Staffordshire Bull Terrier.
Malcolm, let me just interject, and Hannah, you can tell me that I'm wrong, but is there something intrinsically within that breed that lends itself to violence?
Okay, let's take this right back. Let's think about the name of the dog, okay? It's a Staffordshire Pit Bull Terrier, okay? So where do you think the word pit came from? I love Staffies, and for everyone out there that's got a Staffie, you know, I'm not anti-Staffie by any stretch of the imagination, and I will preach this to the ends of the earth. Staffies cannot communicate properly because they don't have a face. Okay, so that's number one. They're not very good at dog-on-dog interactions because
they don't have a face.
We've bred them so that their face is flat. So if you look at a Staffie, all of their features are pulled right back. So they try and do, you know, appeasing gestures. They can't. So you see a Staffie puppy, it breaks my heart, Danny. See a baby Staffie puppy, a 6-month-old, and it looks like any other puppy. It's going, come on, I want to be your mate, way! And every other dog spends its entire life going, I don't like you, you're a bit weird, I don't know how to read you, you're a bit full on. But the key here is that Staffies, aside from obviously the breed lineage, which was for fighting, Pit Bull Terrier, it was for pits so that we could fight them against each other. The thing is that deep down inside that dog, he's a terrier, and terriers are tenacious. They want to go and they want to keep going. They want to find it, catch it, kill it. That's a terrier's personality, but that's any terrier, you know.
Yes, I do understand that, but if these dogs are made that way, it's in their psyche, surely these dogs then should be paramount to be put on the lead.
We need
it's no good you saying, ma'am, that these dogs are like this, which is fair enough. Most dogs are unpredictable. I agree with that.
Yeah.
But especially with staffs, and I'm sure many people who listen to this programme will agree with me, that staffs have this tenacious will to attack, kill any dog they see.
Can I just jump on this, because this is a massive passion for me.
Malcolm, you made your point. Here's Hannah.
So the thing to bear in mind, Malcolm, is that yes, the thing with Staffies is that it's not that they are absolutely out there to try and kill everything around them. They are very highly prey driven, okay, and that's not the fault of the dog. They want to work, and often with Staffies we get so frightened we're not redirecting that behaviour in a helpful way. Okay, you could get the same level of aggression in a Labrador if it's not given opportunities to carry things around, because that's what Labradors are bred to do. So with Staffordshire Bull Terriers, we really need to give them that job, and we need to redirect that prey drive onto toy play, onto something else. The problem that Staffies have is that when they do go, that jaw is considerable, and so when it comes to Staffies, they've got a very low frustration tolerance, and they're much more quick to snap. So that's the thing to bear in mind, Malcolm. You know, I really don't want to have to demonise Staffies or Staffie owners. I've got a couple of clients who've got Staffies who are experiencing that, and it really isn't the fault of the dog.
Okay, are we going to, even though if we accept it's not the fault of the dog, should they be on a lead? Because if we just accept that intrinsically, they're flat-faced, difficult communication, and if they get hold of something, they're going to kill it. Yeah. Should they be on a lead?
They're not all going to kill it. That's just some dogs who don't know how far to go.
They would go after a cat.
So would a lurcher. So would a Jack
but
Russell.
lurchers are bred to kill rabbits, for example.
Catch them, exactly. Yeah. Chase them and catch them and kill them, exactly.
A Bichon Frise wouldn't, would it?
Well, no, probably not. But that's only because it doesn't have the apparatus to do that kind of work. Yeah. I don't think we should keep Staffies on leads, because what the problem that Staffies have is frustration. They're not understood, they're misunderstood, and so they get frustrated, and that frustration comes out very quickly into aggression.
Thank you. Are we going to John in Telford, who's a Staffie owner? We're not. Are we going to Stephen, or... I'll tell you, let's go to Stephen on line 1. Hi, Steve.
Oh, I don't know. I've got a Master Apso who's 14 and a half and on his last legs, and I've also got a Tibetan Terrier that's nearly 3. I'm not going to have 2 dogs again, but I am worried about how the Tibetan Terrier is going to cope without the old man, because he idolises him, basically, and he hasn't got long left.
Oh, yeah, bless him. I know. Really difficult. I mean, the best thing you can do is keep to a really lovely routine. Obviously, they will mourn each other. It's completely natural. I would say to anybody else that's listening that is having a dog that is about to pass and is really worried about this, one of the best things you can actually do, it might feel a bit traumatic, but if you do bring that dog back from the vets and let your dog see the dog and have a time to mourn it, just as you would bring your family to see someone who's passed. Yeah, absolutely, I would.
Or did you just sniff around and...
Yeah, they make their peace with it in their way.
Is that right?
Definitely.
Does it affect them emotionally for like days as it would do a person?
Of course, it's their family. You know, we're pack. We are pack, and I think often
I underestimate this breed.
This is it, and species. And often I think people. I've seen dogs who are constantly looking for the other dog. They'll go out on walks, and it might take much longer for that dog to make peace with the thought that their pack member is gone. But just don't underestimate, I would say, how important you are to that dog too. You know, we put 2 dogs together and we say, well, that's your life and this is my life, but actually no, they're part of your life too. So you know, anything you can do to bring them closer to you.
Hannah, we've run out of time. Next time you're in